Hey, remember her?
I'm Kristi Noem. From the cowboys who tamed the West to the titans who built our cities, our greatness calls people to us. Anyone who searches for freedom can always find a home here. But that freedom's a precious thing, and we defend it vigorously. Your American dream can be as big as these endless skies.
Kristi Noem has proven to be feckless.
If your department then deports anyone with an ongoing asylum application, you are violating the law, correct?
Joe Biden left us with...
I'm not asking about Joe Biden. I'm asking you a specific question. If your department deports anyone with an ongoing asylum application, you are violating the law. Is that correct?
It was greatly violated when they allowed...
I'm asking you.
...people to come
I'm asking you.
Granted asylum applications.
Why are you filibustering? Why can't you answer the question? It's a simple question.
Your president...
If your department
and your secretary
deports anyone with an ongoing asylum application, you are violating the law. Isn't that correct?
The asylum program was broken under the last...
Mr. Chairman, I will reclaim my time. She's not answering the question. But the obvious answer is that, yes, if you follow a lawful pathway, asylum is a lawful pathway. If you have an open asylum case, you are here lawfully. But the problem that we are seeing around the country is that you are not following the law.
Kristi Noem has proven to be incompetent in her life.
The New York Times is reporting that thousands of calls from flood victims to FEMA call centers went unanswered in the middle of this ongoing disaster because you didn't renew contracts to keep call center staff in place until nearly 1 week after the floods. Why did it take so long to extend those contracts?
It's just false. Those contracts were in place. Nobody,
it didn't take 5 days.
No employees were off of work. Every one of them was answering calls. So false reporting, fake news, and it's discouraging.
And Kristi Noem, as the former leader of DHS, now for some reason, the psychotic Mark Wayne Mullen is in charge. Well, let's get back to Noem, because she floundered over and over and over again.
I remember a time when Republicans were very careful about and worried about the government, particularly unelected people.
Well, we can't trust our government anymore.
Having access to personal data.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You are the government.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
A clown show. Just the blind leading the blind. That would be the best description for her role as the head of DHS. But let's focus on the you can't trust the government line, because her husband, Bryon Noem, 56 years of age, is in the news for this reason. As published by the Daily Mail, Bryon is a crossdresser. In this photo, he is seen with fake cleavage and hot pants. The Mail claims he paid adult entertainers to talk dirty to him and more. Here is another photo obtained by Ben Ashford and Josh Boswell at the Mail. He also has a kink, as the two reporters uncovered in their piece. Summarized by Mediaite, they chatted with several fetish models who claimed to have had an online relationship with Bryon Noem, involving bimbofication, which is a kink centered around women becoming real-life Barbie dolls with gigantic proportions. But wait a minute. Hang on a second. I thought they hated drag. I thought they hated cross-dressers. I thought they labeled it demonic. What gives, guys? What happened here? His online activity was also documented by the Mail. There were messages on WhatsApp and texts that would reveal he was asked for money, and he sent what they call his roster about $25,000 via PayPal and the money exchanging app Cash App. When the payments came in late, those messages would take a turn. One woman would post about Bryon, but deleted it. So the Mail would reach him for comment, and this is how it went. He simply would not deny being a cross-dresser or having the conversations mentioned. However, what he did reject was that he made indiscreet comments regarding his wife, Kristi. This, of course, comes as national security experts are speaking out about the potential threat of blackmail. So, in conclusion, what do I say to this? What do I say to this? First off, I have seen jokesters like Nancy Mace try to make the argument that, how can you pile on this guy? I don't do that. All I focus on is legislation, and I don't really care about any of that stuff. Meanwhile, this is the same woman who, according to former staffers, gets drunk all the time. But she will go after trans people all the time. Every day. I mean, there was one tweet I saw that they documented how many times she tweeted or said something about trans people over the span of like 48 or 72 hours, and the number was astronomical. So you're seeing that defense. You're going to see a lot more defenses, like, how can we, only God can judge me. Oh, this isn't very Christ-like. We shall not judge, we shall respect our neighbor. Same movement, who, because someone does not speak the proper English that they think is proper on a land that was stolen by the Native Americans and spoke a completely different language than English, yet they claim English is the language of the homeland, want them deported. They want drag shows banned. And yet, the people who are dressing up in drag have even gone on the record saying, have you seen the literacy rates? Have you? How many times have we seen, and I'm sorry I'm blanking on your name, but there is a Twitter user who will post, unfortunately has to post, every single day about a police officer or a preacher or a religious dad, what have you, diddling. I'm blanking on her name. I know that she's a woman with blonde hair. Again, my apologies. You're doing great work. These people are gross to me. They are. Because the same people that are defending this or saying it's none of our business are the same ones who are saying that trans people are demonic and people who dress in drag are satanic and they should be charged with a crime. Same people. So look, I know that people who watch this show understand my position on a lot of this. And let me just say, for predominantly white folks doing this and going after marginalized communities, it is gross to me every single day that, let's say, people like Riley Gaines have a humongous platform, and yet those who are good faith and I would say are even following in Jesus's footsteps more than her have smear campaigns and get crushed for it, even if they're not religious at all. So look, y'all, here's what I hope. I hope this guy can come out and just be happy. Truly. I hope he can just live his life how he wants to live it. But what I will not stand for is the hypocrisy. I won't stand for it. And you shouldn't either. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.